No two negotiations are the same. So it just ended up unfolding, and it was, I mean, New Year's Eve. We felt like we had something that we could work with, and I called Jen and I said, Jen, call Casey and get it done. And I texted Casey and told him that Jen would be in touch with him and that we'd move forward. So
that was on New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm. Dayton, last time we were in here, I was really struck by you talking about obviously your admiration for Alex, but also how you can't let emotion guide this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can elaborate on that, but how did
I can
that all unfold?
It really didn't. I mean, I can't say that when it looked like we were going to get a deal, I was very, very happy because I didn't want, although, you know, I didn't know what other uniform he could possibly wear, and I just, you know, it just wouldn't have felt right. It wouldn't seem right. I mean, I just go back to, you know, certain players I've been a part of in the past. They just belong with an organization, and Alex Gordon belongs here in Kansas City, but you have to make decisions what's best for the team. I mean, ultimately that's what it's all about, and Alex Gordon's here because he helps us win. And you know, when we would go around as a group and I talk to our scouts, get Alex Gordon. I talk to our analytical guys, get Alex Gordon. I talk to our coaching staff, get Alex Gordon. You know, you talk to his teammates along the way for various reasons, get Gordo back. I mean, so, you know, I mean, as I said, my mama didn't raise no dummy, right? So, I mean, enough people are telling me to get him back, so we just worked to get a deal. So.
How did the negotiations, all the stuff that people saw earlier was 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. Was it obviously he's 4 years here? Were there talk of 5 years other places? Would you guys ever think about 5 years?
I don't know. I mean, we were committed. We were committed to 4. You know, it's just the way it worked out, and you know, they worked with us.
I mean, this seems like, I mean, it's the biggest contract in Royals history, not a hometown discount type deal. You guys didn't get any special favors here from him, right?
You'd have to. I mean, I don't know. I just, at the end of the day, I did what, you know, I felt that, you know, worked for us, and you know, and again, I mean, we still, you know, we want to be able to have flexibility going forward with some of our, you know, other players. I mean, we've always had a commitment to keep our, you know, the players, the impact players here as long as we can, and we've had success doing it. We're not going to be able to sign them all. I mean, I've said that from day one, before I even knew who Eric Hosmer and Salvador Perez were. We won't be able to keep them all, but we'll do our best to keep as many as we can. And you know, Alex, we've signed him twice now, and he's a very productive player for us. And like I said, I mean, the home run he hit in the 9th off Familia, I mean, it just kind of speaks for itself. I mean, it's one of the biggest hits in the history of the Kansas City Royals, off one of the very most dominant pitchers in the game. And so he's here because we believe he can help us win. And so your heart, of course, always plays a part in it, but again, you got to do what's best for the organization. So
you mentioned some of those other guys will be up in a few years. What's the rest of the offseason going to be like for you? Is it mostly going to be looking on arbitration numbers and things? Or is there any chance anyone else can sign one of those Alex Gordon type deals from a few years ago? Or
you know, we'll see. I mean, like I said, every negotiation's different. You don't assume anything, and you certainly don't pretend to think that everybody's looking at everything the same. I mean, I can't look at life through anybody's eyes but my own, and I don't expect our players to try to. They got to do what's fair for them, and so you know, we'll just see. We'll take them one by one, Todd. You got to develop a feel for this, and I don't know if it's right or it's wrong. It's an instinct, it's a gut, and you know, along the way, I just picked up the phone and called Alex, and we talked about it. And Casey certainly was very cooperative and understands, you know, our relationship. But I would never, you know, I would never take advantage of a relationship. I mean, it's you know, Alex, I told him from the beginning, you do what's in the very best interest of, you know, for you and Jamie and the kids, and you know, we'll be okay. So, you know, he's had to do what's best for him, and at the end of the day, I mean, you know, one of the players I'm closest to, and my career was Jeff Francoeur. I had to release Jeff Francoeur, and that wasn't an easy day either. And so it's part of the game. But if you're honest and upfront, and you're compassionate along the way, and you develop that trust when you have to have those types of conversations, hopefully they come across the right way.
Did you call him after that no chance report came out?
No.
Or
No, because
you'd heard that?
I know. Well, when I heard that, I called Jen, and I said, Jen, where's it? Have we been told that we have no chance? And Jen said no. And then Casey was calling Jen around the same time, wanted to know where that come from. And we were trying to figure out where it came from. So, that's the way it is. It's no big deal.
Do you think the market was helpful in terms of the other outfield options out there to make him affordable enough?
I do. I think that the fact that there's, the supply and demand, and there's a lot of very talented players still on the market. We needed a left-handed hitter, and Alex was the absolute right fit for us. I mean, anytime you sign a player to a long-term contract, you want to feel comfortable about it. You want to feel that the player is going to be able to produce over the lifetime of that contract. They're going to stay healthy over the lifetime of the contract. That the financial security is not going to rob their incentive to play. We didn't have any of those worries with Alex. Not that we hadn't worries with any other player, but certainly the fact that there's still some high-quality players on the market might have given us an advantage.
You mentioned the health factor. Sort of a fluky set of injuries to him last year, but it still kept him out for almost 60 games. Was that a consideration at all?
Well, you talk about it, sure. I mean, it's part of the evaluation. I mean, there's the medical evaluation is crucial, and I rely on Nick Kenny and Doc Key and Jeff Blum, our physical therapist, to give us the right information. Of course, at the end of the day, you trust the player, and as you all know, you see Alex every day as much as I do. I mean, that's a player you trust. I mean, he shows up on time. He takes care of his body. He's a worker. He listens. He takes advice. He's easy to trust.
So on New Year's Eve, when you feel like you may have it, how'd you celebrate?
Did you make it to midnight?
I'll tell you off the record.
You didn't drink any champagne all October?
No, we didn't. We didn't drink any champagne. No, it was just. I didn't know we didn't hear back that they were going to.
Well, but that was the sense that.
But we felt like we felt like because we knew what they were expecting at the time, and I felt that after doing the numbers and projecting them out and with the other goals that we desire with our current roster going forward, that what they were asking for, we could make it work.
How much of this was just internally you guys figuring out a way to make it work?
A lot of it, very much so. I mean, I had Jen work, okay, we signed this player. How's Alex's worst case scenario fit with us getting this player, signing another player long term, and how's it fit in where our payroll is in 1920, and I mean, we talk about all kinds of different things, work with Kevin Eulitt and Dan Glass and Dave Laverance, and trying to figure out how we can make things work financially. So it's a lot of discussions.
How would you characterize, it's maybe this is not an easy question to answer. When you sign someone they're young, this is probably what they're going to do for you. How much of this is what Alex has done for you, and how much do you expect out of him in the next 4 years?
Well, that's what he's going to do, Todd. It's what he's going to do. And, the market, as we know, is what it is. And, you can always make a case each and every year if a player's underpaid or overpaid or what have you. Well, a player's only worth what a team's willing to give him. And, but you pay for future production. Again, the market changes. And, George Brett, I'm sure you all have had conversations with George. He talks about what the market was when he played and what it is now, and the arbitration process. So there's a lot of different factors involved, as we know. But, when a player's a free agent, you've got to win the negotiations for the player. Do my instincts tell me that Alex took less money to come here? Yeah, that's my instincts tell me. But I don't know that for a fact, and that's something that's between Alex and his family.